Hello dear student friends. So we are back with another class. In the previous class we were discussing about transportation in animals. In today's class let us begin with transportation in plants. In your previous classes you have already studied about the plants that plants are autotrophic in nature. That means they can prepare their own food using raw materials. The process is called as photosynthesis. So for photosynthesis, plants require some other raw materials like carbon dioxide, which they will get it from atmosphere, then solar energy, which is nothing but the sunlight, then other raw materials like water and minerals, which they will get from soil through roots. So roots are in direct contact with the soil, where roots will absorb water and minerals which are dissolved in water, and these have to be transported to the aerial parts, because the site of photosynthesis is green parts of the plant, which are mainly leaves. So here again the plants also, just like animals, have to transport the raw materials from the site of absorption to the site of utilization. So mainly here, in case of transportation of water and minerals, the site of the roots which are beneath the soil, whereas the site of utilization is the leaves, where these raw materials are utilized and they will manufacture their own food. So in case of smaller plants, where the distance between roots and the leaves is very small, so the transportation takes place by simple diffusion, because the distance is not so longer, so easily the materials can diffuse through the cells and reach the main parts. Whereas in larger plants like trees and all, where the distance between leaves and the root is very larger, okay, so there diffusion is not sufficient. It will not provide much pressure so that the water can move from one part of the plant to other part. There plant needs a proper system of transportation. In case of plants, as you know that in your previous class, as you have already studied, that plants do not have organ grade of body organization, they have only tissue grade of body organization. There are mainly two tissues which will serve the purpose of transportation. They are xylem and phloem. They are collectively called as vascular tissues, or they are also called as conducting tissue. So here we have two paths through which the materials move, or the materials are transported through the plant's body. One is xylem and another one is phloem. You have already studied about the structure and function of a xylem and phloem, that is a vascular tissue, in your previous class, 9th class, and you are well versed about their structure and also the difference. Just to summarize few points, let us see quickly the difference between xylem and phloem. So xylem is mainly consisting of a dead, long and hollow vessels. If you can remember, the xylem consists of a dead tissue. Okay, why the xylem is dead? Because the cell wall are lignified. It's a very hard fiber like tissue, whereas phloem is consisting of living thin tubes placed end to end, and also the tubes are connected by sieve plates. Xylem is a water conducting tissue. It mainly conducts water and minerals from roots to other parts of the plant body, whereas phloem conducts the products of photosynthesis, that is mainly sugars, from leaves to all the other parts of the plant body in all the direction. That means in both the upward and a downward direction, whereas the roots will conduct water in only one direction. The conduction of water in xylem requires no energy. It do not need any energy to transport. It's a passive transportation. Whereas in case of the phloem, conduction of food materials requires utilization of energy, which is mainly in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, which are also called as a energy currency of the cells. Now first let us study about how the transportation of water takes place in xylem. Xylem is a water conducting tissue, as we have already studied. Roots are in direct contact with the soil. Cells of the root take up ions from the soil activity, which creates root pressure and pushes upwards. Okay, so here roots will absorb the ions so that it can create more root pressure. Okay, so as the pressure builds up, the water is pushed upwards in upward direction in the water column or the xylem column. But this type of the root pressure which is created by ions is not sufficient in case of tall trees. So in such case, transpirational pull comes to rescue. Okay, even there is a theory called transpirational pull theory, which explains how the water is transported to such a large heights of the plant. Before understanding transpirational pull, what is transpiration? Loss of water in the form of vapor from aerial parts of the plant body is called as a transpiration. It mainly takes place through stomata. Okay, if you can remember, stomata are tiny structures found in the leaves. As I hope you remember these structures. Okay, so these are called as a guard cells. These are called as guard cells. This is the stomatal pore through which the water is evaporating. Okay, so you already studied these structures in detail. So therefore, the transpiration is nothing but a loss of water from the aerial parts of plant body in the form of a water vapor. It is called as a transpiration. Here one more point I would like to add is that in some cases water is lost from the plant body in the form of water droplets. That phenomena is called as a guttation. Anyways, so here we are discussing about the transpirational pull. When water first evaporates, so you can see here, this is the root part where the water is being absorbed. This is the column of xylem which moves through the stem, okay, and then ultimately reaches the leaves where these are the stomata, from where the water is being evaporated. As water is lost through the stomatal pore, it creates a suctional pressure in the water column of the xylem. As a result, water moves upwards. As the water moves upward, it will be lost in the form of a water vapor. That is what the transpiration, the transpirational pull. So because of loss of water vapors in the stomatal region, the water when it is lost, it creates a suctional pressure in the water column of the xylem. So as a result, water moves in upward direction even to larger heights of the tree. This is what called as the transpirational pull. So the transport of water takes place because of mainly the transpiration. Okay, so as you know that stomata are open during the daytime whereas they are closed during the night time. Hangandre night time water transportation ಹೆಂಗಾಗತ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಡೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವು, ಅವಾಗ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನೀರು ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ನೈಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗ ಇವು ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್. Of course ಇದು ಸ್ಲೋ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸಹಿತ ಏನೈತಿ ಒಂದು ಕೀ ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ especially during the night time. So there are some advantages of transpiration. It creates transpiration for upward movement of water and minerals. It regulates temperature of the plant body. There is constant supply of ions and removes excess water. Okay, so transpiration pool ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೊಸ ನೀರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿನರಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾವ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಮಿನರಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊರತೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ನೀರಿನ ಕೊರತೆನೂ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈವನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರಿನ ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಆವಿಯಾಗಿ ಗಾಳಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಡೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಆರ್ ಓಪನ್. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ನೈಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವಿಚ್ plays key role in movement of water in the xylem. ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಂಗ ಡೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್ ನಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀರು ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೈಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗ when the stomata are closed, it is the root pressure which helps in the transportation of water. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಒಳಗ ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟಾ ಪ್ಲೇ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್. Now coming to the last part of this topic, that is transport of food and other substances. So transport of food and other substances in the plant body. Food and other substances andre they are the soluble products of photosynthesis, which is nothing but mainly the sugars. Okay, so ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು translocation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. It is called as a translocation. So transport of soluble products of photosynthesis from leaves to other parts of the plant body is called as a translocation. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಏರಿಯಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ವೇಪರ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಏನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಒಳಗ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so translocation andre it takes place in the second path of transportation, that is a phloem. Okay, so phloem is a food conducting tissue as it conducts the products of a photosynthesis. Therefore it is called as a food conducting tissue. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಫುಡ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಶುಗರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಈವನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ phytohormones. Okay, so hormones are required by the plant body in the growing regions. So hangagi buds, tip of the root, tip of the shoot, fruits, flower ella kadene idav phytohormones na supply ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ. ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ to produce the proteins they require amino acids. So along with the sugar, phytohormones and amino acids are also being transported. So here translocation is achieved by using energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate in a sieve tube. Therefore translocation is an active process. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it has to spend some energy which is in the form of ATP, energy currency of the cell, adenosine triphosphate. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ is an active process. Transportation of water is a passive process. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಪುಲ್ ನಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಒಳಗ ಫುಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as the active process. In translocation the substances move in both upward and downward direction. Translocation ಒಳಗ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, they photosynthesize and produce sugars. So those sugars are also supposed to be transported in both the direction, that is towards the root as well as to the shoot. That is why the translocation or transport of food material takes place in a downward and upward direction. So this is what about transportation in plants. So this finishes transportation topic of a life process chapter. Thank you very much.